Voters in the Indian-administered Jammu and Kashmir region are gearing up to head to the polls in the first phase of local elections on Wednesday. They will be voting in members to the state's legislature in what will be the first local election in the region in a decade. It's also the first election since India's only Muslim-majority province was stripped of its autonomy and special rights in 2019. Kashmir is governed by both India and Pakistan in parts, but claimed by both fully. CNA's Ishan Garg tells us about the mood on the ground from Indian-administered Kashmir.
This is the first regional election for the people of Jammu and Kashmir in 10 years. And people here are now seeing this as an opportunity to make their voices heard, to protest against the federal government's decision to remove this region's special powers in 2019. The revocation of this region's special status and its status as a full state was done overnight without consulting the people of Kashmir. And that's what people here are still calling a big betrayal by the federal government. Some voters say they will use the ballot to demand Kashmir's statehood be restored.
ये हमारे डेवलपमेंट के लिए नहीं है, बल्कि एक साइकोलॉजिकल जो वार हमारे अंदर चल रहा है कि जब अगर हम स्टेटहुड वापस मिलेगा तो यकीनी पे थोड़ी सी राहत मिलेगी कश्मीरी के लोगों में, तो उनको थोड़ा लगेगा कि कुछ मिला है. सो मेरे ख्याल से कि ये मेरी ख्याल है नहीं, हमारे जो यहाँ के यूथ है उनका भी यही पर्टिकुलर ख्याल है कि एक स्टेटहुड मिलना चाहिए ताकि हम कश्मीरी जो थोड़ा सा सेटिस्फाई हो जाए.
स्टेट वापस आना चाहिए, हम इसमें खुश है कि यहाँ गुर्बत आया, गरीबी हो गया, यहाँ स्टेट वापस आना चाहिए, हम उसी में खुश हैं. गवर्नमेंट बनेगा, हमारा राहत मिलेगा.
It is why political parties have focused on this issue as well. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party, the BJP, has fielded Rafiq Wani from the politically crucial constituency of Anantnag West. He's going door to door to convince voters that the federal government's decision to strip the state of its autonomy helped cut off funding for separatists and terrorists in the region who for decades protested Indian rule through an armed insurgency. In one of the most militarized regions in the world, it's very common to see candidates flanked by both the state as well as federal police. They're all equipped in tactical gear and assault rifles. It's a sign of how real the threat of militant attacks still is, despite the government claiming that things have improved vastly in the past 5 years when the region of Kashmir was brought under New Delhi's direct control. One of the BJP's rivals in the Kashmir Valley is the People's Democratic Party, or the PDP, a party Modi's BJP had allied with to form the last government of Kashmir in 2014. Candidate Mirza Mahmood Beg is meeting voters one-on-one. He says people of Kashmir respond better to a personal touch. Beg says Kashmir's elections are unique and not in a good way.
आप किसी जगह का नाम बता सकते हैं देश में जहां सुप्रीम कोर्ट को इंटरवीन करना पड़े कि इन बेचारों को अपना फंडामेंटल बेसिक राइट, डेमोक्रेटिक राइट बैलेट का दे दो? इसलिए ये डिफरेंट है. ये क्या ठीक है? सिक्योरिटी प्रेजेंस आपने कहा, ये मेरे ख्याल में आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी से पूछ लीजिए, होम मिनिस्टर अमित शाह साहब से पूछ लीजिए, वो तो कहते हैं हमने सब कुछ ठीक कर दिया. अगर सब कुछ ठीक है तो बाकी हिस्सों की तरह क्यों यहाँ इतनी सिक्योरिटी प्रेजेंस?
Gatherings here are smaller than what you'll see in other parts of India, need multiple rounds of permissions from security forces and often take place in heavily fortified areas. Officials in Kashmir say the security blanket here is crucial to curb separatists who fueled unrest for decades and continue to be active in pockets, and to counter terrorists who New Delhi claims Pakistan supports and funds. Islamabad has denied these allegations. While many voters say they feel overwhelmed by the security presence, they also want to use their vote to demand a fix for other issues in this election. Rising unemployment, a crumbling, underfunded healthcare infrastructure, and constant security threats that make it hard to do business here. The region has historically seen very low voter turnout. But the recently concluded general elections saw a massive uptick, with half the people in the Kashmir Valley voting, as compared to 2019, when only a fifth of the voters cast their ballot. Analysts say that this time around, Kashmir is seeing bigger rallies and people are generally more enthusiastic about participating in these elections. And candidates are hoping that this momentum will also reflect in the voter turnout. Ishan Garg, CNA, Anantnag, Kashmir.